what you're going to do.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, guys like you always say you don't know what you're going to do until you do it. I think you know exactly what you were going to do. You were going to kill your wife and child.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you knew it would be too late to turn back. It would be real easy to turn the gun around on yourself. Now, let's go meet some nice policemen. They're good guys. Come on, let's go.
I'm the bad guy?
Yeah.
How'd that happen? I did everything they told me to. Did you know I build missiles?
Yeah.
I helped to protect America? You should be rewarded for that. Instead, they give it to the plastic surgeon. You know, they lied to me.
Is that what this is about? You're angry because you got lied to? Is that why my chicken dinner's drying out in the oven? They lie to everybody. They lie to the fish. But that doesn't give you any special right to do what you did today. The only thing that makes you special is that little girl. Now, let's go.
Sure was hot today, wasn't it? You know, I got a gun in my pocket. I got lots of guns.
Stay there. Don't move.
You want to draw?
Let's not. Let's call it a day.
Oh, come on. It's perfect. Showdown between the sheriff and the bad guy. It's beautiful. On 3.
This doesn't have to be the end, Bill. You have a choice. See, my little girl is dead. I don't have a choice. You have a choice.
No, you have 2 choices. I can kill you, or you can kill me. And my little girl can get the insurance. 1.
Don't you want to see her grow up?
Behind bars. 2.
Don't do this, please.
3. I would have got you.
So this is one of the most powerful and psychological revealing moments in Falling Down, delivered by Michael Douglas as William D-FENS Foster near the end of this film when he looks at Robert Duvall's character, Detective Martin Prendergast, and utters this line, "I'm the bad guy. How did that happen?" Now this line may sound simple, but it's actually the philosophical and thematic nucleus of the entire film. See, by the time that William Foster says this line, he's gone through a day-long odyssey across Los Angeles by terrorizing a fast food joint, confronting a convenience store clerk, attacking gang members, invading a plastic surgeon's golf course, and ultimately holding his own family hostage. So he's been on a violent rampage, but from his own point of view, he's simply reacting to what he perceives as broken, disrespectful, and ungrateful world. So in this climatic confrontation with Prendergast, Foster is forced to confront reality, not the narrative that he built in his head. And for the first time, someone mirrors the truth back to him. So his stunned, almost childlike reaction, saying, "I'm the bad guy," reveals how deep his self delusion runs. Now, William Foster truly believes that he is the protagonist of a righteous crusade. In his mind, he's not committing evil, he's restoring justice. When he destroys the convenience store shelves, he thinks he's standing up to corporate greed. When he assaults the gang members, he frames it as defending himself and reclaiming the streets. When he storms the golf course, he sees himself as striking back against entitled elites. And when he terrorizes his ex wife, he frames it as reclaiming his family. Now, this is classic cognitive dissonance, the psychological discomfort of holding conflicting beliefs. He sees himself as the hero, but his actions are objectively harmful and dangerous. And his question to Prendergast, it is not rhetorical, it's genuine confusion. Basically, how could I be the bad guy when I've been fighting the bad guys all day? So this mirrors real world phenomena where individuals or groups commit harm but perceive themselves as victims or avengers, not aggressors. And Foster, he's an avatar of white middle class disillusionment in early 1990s America. So see, the city around him has changed. He's divorced, estranged from his child. He's unemployed after years in defense work. He feels invisible in a city that no longer mirrors the world he grew up believing in, and he sees immigrants, gang violence, corporate greed, and economic shifts, and interprets them not as neutral change, but as personal attacks. So his rampage isn't random, it's the violent manifestation of his alienation. And when he says, I'm the bad guy, it reflects a worldview that he believes that I followed the rules my whole life, that I was the good citizen. I paid my taxes. I built things for this country. And now I'm the villain? So this is the language of someone who feels dispossessed of a moral status they assume was permanent. He still clings to the myth of the good citizen, but society has moved on without him. So throughout the film, Foster narrativizes his actions in heroic terms. He's the avenger in a world of wrongdoers. But the brilliance of this line is how it shatters his self-authored myth. So see, he thought he was John Wayne, but he's become Travis Bickle. He thought he was defending order, but he's spreading chaos. He thought the world was corrupt, but he's the one pointing the gun at innocent people. So this moment mirrors many tragic anti-heroes in literature and in film, that they don't realize that they become the villain of their own story until it's too late. So it's Oedipus realizing that he's the cause of the plague. It's Walter White realizing that I did it for me. Michael Corleone watching his own soul slip away from him. So Foster's confusion isn't just because he's blind to his violence, it's also rooted in entitlement. He believed the world owed him gratitude and respect, that following the rules gave him moral immunity, that his suffering justified his actions. And the line. See, when he says that line, he's not just confused, he's also offended. He can't fathom that he, a law abiding taxpayer, is being equated with criminals. And this reveals how moral exceptionalism can warp someone's perception of their own wrongdoing. And then you take a look at and then we take a look at Detective Prendergast, played by Robert Duvall. So he is the foil to Foster. So both of these men are both middle-aged white men. They're both frustrated with life's challenges. Prendergast lost his daughter, and he's married to a controlling, anxious woman. And he's treated like a washed-up desk jockey. And he too sees a changing world. But unlike Foster, he chooses responsibility over resentment. He doesn't lash out at the world. He steps up to protect it. So when Foster asks, "I'm the bad guy," he doesn't argue because the truth is self-evident in their actions. And this contrast highlights a moral fork in the road, where Foster he chose grievance, Prendergast chose growth. And this moment also taps into Hannah Arendt's concept of the banality of evil. See, evil often doesn't present itself as monstrous. It presents itself as ordinary people doing what they think is right. Foster isn't some cartoon villain. No, he's a disturbingly familiar. So he's a co-worker who resents immigrants, the man who blames everyone else for his misfortune, the person who justifies cruelty as defending their rights. So his confusion is not staged. It's the banality itself. He can't see himself as evil because evil in his mind is always someone else. And the line itself also serves as a mirror to American self-image at the end of the 20th century. Foster is the archetype of the forgotten American, clinging to the idea of being the good guy, the builder, the soldier, the taxpayer. But the world around him has revealed the cracks in that mythology. Not everyone gets to be the hero. And the moment that he realizes that he's the bad guy, it's also the moment America's nostalgic self image collides with its modern, diverse, fractured reality. So it's not just him asking that I'm the bad guy, it's a cultural cry from those who feel that their identity slipping from the center of the national narrative. And the beauty and tragedy of this line is that it arrives too late. See, by the time that Foster realizes the truth, his fate is already sealed. Like a Greek tragic hero, his harmadia, his fatal flaw, pride, entitlement, and rage, they all let him hear. He's standing at the pier, a gun in hand, with nowhere left to go. And his realization, it isn't redemptive, it's hollow. The villain doesn't become the hero again. He just dies knowing he wasn't who he thought he was. So this line resonates a lot today, perhaps even more than in 1993, because in a world in where social media, polarized politics, and economic precarity have amplified feelings of victimhood and resentment, more people than ever feel like Foster, convinced that they're the righteous hero, blind to their harm. So his question, I'm the bad guy, it echoes in a lot of extremists who claim to defend their country while harming others, individuals who justify cruelty in the name of justice, and anyone who refuses to look in the mirror and see their own shadow. And also from a Jungian lens, William Foster represents a man consumed by his shadow, the unconscious part of ourselves that contains repressed rage, the fear, and desires. And throughout the film, his shadow takes control, manifesting in violence and authoritarianism. His confusion about being the bad guy is the ego's inability to integrate that shadow. That I'm not the bad guy, I'm the good one. I've always been good. But the shadow does not care about self perception, it acts, and the world responds accordingly. So, why is this so powerful? See, the reason why this line is so powerful is because it's not just a character's line, it's a mirror that's held up to individual psychology, to societal change, to national mythology, and the tragic storytelling behind it all. So, individual psychology, it's how personal grievance wraps moral clarity. With societal change, it's how cultural displacement breeds resentment. And with national mythology, it's how the good guys can become villains without realizing it. And then the tragic storytelling is the fall of a man who didn't see his own fall coming. It's the moment his illusion collapses. And the tragic punch is that he doesn't say it with menace. He says it with genuine disbelief. So I'm the bad guy is less about William Foster than it is about us. Anyone who clings so tightly to their story of being the good guy that they never question the damage that they cause. So it's a cinematic warning. And that warning is that morality is not inherited, that good intentions don't excuse harm, and that a man who sees himself as a victim can easily become a villain.